Rivers have played a pivotal role in the evolution of Indian civilization. During ancient times, when technology was not as advanced as it is today, people used to dwell along the river banks for easy access to water that would be used for drinking, bathing, irrigation, transportation, and also as a food source. In India, all the rivers except the Brahmaputra are revered as goddesses for their feminine nature of sustaining life. India not only derives its name from the river Indus, also known as Sindhu, but it is also the foundation of Hinduism, a faith practiced by the majority of the country's population. According to the Vedas, Saptanadi or the seven sacred rivers of the subcontinent are Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Indus or Sindhu, Narmada, Godavari, and Kaveri. Out of these, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati also play a significant role as river goddesses in Hinduism. Let's talk about the most pious Ganga first. Goddess Ganga is frequently shown as having fair skin, seated on a crocodile, holding a water lily in one hand and the musical instrument lute in the other. As it is regarded as the purest river, there are several stories of her origin in Hinduism. But the most popular is the one in which Lord Shiva uses his matted locks to control her fierce water currents as she descends to earth. The tale of Ganga's descent to earth begins with Lord Ram's forefather, King Sagar's desire to perform a horse sacrifice to please the gods and gain more power. Fearing that he would be overthrown, Lord Indra, the king of the Devas, stole the horse that was supposed to be sacrificed and tied it outside of sage couple's monastery. Realizing that his horse was missing, the king sent his sons to seek for it. After searching for some time, the princes found it at the sage's residence. They assumed that the sage had stolen it and began to abuse him verbally while trying to free the horse. Disturbed by their unruly behavior, the sage used his yogic powers and burned them into ashes. After a while of not seeing his sons return, a worried King Sagar requested his grandson, Prince Anshuman, to search for the princess. As Anshuman reached Sage Couple's ashram, he found a pile of ash and the horse and understood what had happened. Anshuman met the sage, begged for his forgiveness, and asked for the deceased princess's salvation. The sage claimed that only goddess Ganga, who lived in the heavens, could wash away their sins and free them. Prince Anshuman and his son Dilip tried multiple times to please Lord Brahma, but all in vain. However, Prince Bhagirath, Anshuman's grandson, performed rigorous penance and convinced the gods to send Ganga to earth. Brahma agreed, but Ganga thought it was an insult to descend to earth. She resolved to increase her water current so much that it could destroy anything that came her way. Prince Bhagirath realized her power and prayed to Lord Shiva for help. Pleased, Lord Shiva contained goddess Ganga in his hair and reduced her flow, and then was titled Gangadhar. When Ganga finally descended from the heavens, the water touched the ashes, and all the forefathers of the King Bhagirath attained salvation. Even today, thousands of people visit the river to purify themselves and pray for their sins to be forgiven. She also appears in the famous epic Mahabharata as the wife of King Shantanu and the mother of Bhishma. To know the various stories about Ganga's origin and her appearance in the Mahabharata, watch the videos linked in the comments below. Now let us know a little more about Yamuna. The Yamuna is the second most worshipped river in Hinduism and the principal tributary of the Ganga. She is depicted as having dark skin complexion, holding a pot in her arms and standing on a tortoise. In Hinduism, she is referred to as the daughter of Surya, the sun god, and Sanjana, the goddess of dawn and clouds, and is also the twin sister of Yama, the god of death. The tale of Yamuna's birth is quite an interesting one. Surya's wife Sanjana could not tolerate the bright light emitting out of her husband. Despite being told not to resist, she could not help but close her eyes as Surya's rays were extremely powerful. Surya felt insulted and announced that their son would now be called Yama, which means restraint, and their daughter would be called Yamuna, who would be worshipped till the end of time. Due to his bright rays, Sanjana could not bear to live with Surya anymore and left her shadow Chaya in her place. After Chaya gave birth to her own children, she started mistreating Yama and Yamuna. Fed up of being treated badly, Yama stomped on Chaya's foot. She felt offended and cursed him that his legs would decay, be infested with maggots, and that nobody would save him from the curse. Yamuna could not bear to see her brother suffer to death, so she descended to earth and started praying for him with all her heart and soul. After realizing that she could not save him, she became so stressed that her tears formed into a river and started destroying life on planet Earth. As Yamuna cried uncontrollably, the gods and goddesses realized that she was stuck in time. The night did not exist, and there was only one day that lasted forever, which was today. So they decided to create darkness, and for the first time, the sun set. With time, Yamuna gradually overcame her grief and recovered. The river, which was created by her flow of tears, calmed down and instead became a source of life and livelihood. Goddess Saraswati is frequently depicted in Hinduism wearing a white sari with 4 arms, holding a veena, a book, a rosary, and a pot, and seated on a lotus by the side of a river. These symbols reflect several attributes of the goddess, including knowledge, truth, wisdom, and speech. She is a member of the Trinity of Goddesses, along with Lakshmi and Parvati, parallel to the Trinity of Gods, consisting of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. In the Rig Veda, Saraswati is depicted as the river of knowledge. It is believed that Lord Brahma, the creator, attempted to create the universe but realized that the entire cosmos went haywire due to his lack of knowledge and planning. As he wished for the attainment of the right knowledge, Goddess Saraswati emerged from his mouth. She helped him to create the universe in an orderly fashion. She then turned into a river and spread knowledge as she flowed, but dried up as centuries passed. According to the Padma Puran, a battle between the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas led to a widespread bloodshed and destruction. As a result, a fire called Vadav Agni was born. It consumed everything that came its way. The gods sought help from Lord Shiva, who was highly disturbed by the devastation caused on the planet. Shiva felt that requesting Goddess Saraswati to immerse the Vadav Agni in the ocean would be a good idea. When they approached Saraswati, she refused to comply unless the request came from Brahma. So Brahma asked her to turn into a river and carry the fire to the ocean. She transformed herself into the Saraswati river and originated from the Plaksha, the holy fig tree. She flowed north towards Pushkar and then finally entered the ocean, where she doused the great fire. These stories highlight how Hinduism explains the key principles and concepts of life in a simpler manner in the Vedas. The stories of Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati impart learnings that can be applied in real life too. For instance, the story of Ganga teaches us about ambition, strength, and detachment, whereas the tale of Yamuna is about devotion towards her brother and healing with time. Saraswati teaches us that there is a solution for each problem if it is dealt with wisdom and courage. The point where the 3 rivers merge at Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, is known as Triveni Sangam and is considered as a holy place where one can attain salvation.